Well, good afternoon. Happy Saturday. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. I'm your host, Dr. Aaron Ernst, and what an absolutely incredible opportunity it is to come at you on this beautiful Saturday, after Christmas. And I wonder if you're paying attention to some of the more recent news. A few weeks ago, Adele was announcing her significant weight loss. About maybe 2-3 weeks ago, Rebel Wilson also said she lost, I think, 98 pounds, if I remember right. She cut down 7 stone. I think I remember most of these are British, celebrities. So they use stones to measure weight. We use pounds, so I'll do some conversions for you. 7 stones is about 98 pounds. Now, that's a huge improvement. And those of you may remember, Rebel Wilson is somewhat famous for the roles she's had in the various films where, she's been I don't want to say a slightly overweight individual, but, she definitely had a body figure that met her lifestyle of the time. And here, those of you watching our live stream will see she posted a photo, I think, on Instagram or something not that long ago, where she showed her new figure at 165 pounds. And, everybody's going, oh, my God, how'd you do that? And then not that long ago, the singer Adele very famously, had another Instagram or Facebook photo showing that she had lost near 100 pounds, doing something different than what you are doing, adopting something called the Sirtuin Diet, Sirtuin. And listen, I'm going to be transparent with you. Maybe it's because they're over in the United Kingdom. I honestly had never heard of this. I never heard of this diet. So I decided to take it upon myself to become somewhat of a Sirtuin expert. So my entire team pulled together. We got all the information from all over. And I discovered this could actually work. And there's something unique about this. And it's very, very similar to how I teach people through the Ask Dr. Ernst show, through my clinics in Charlotte, how to change your food so you heal, you become your own physician, etc. This Sirtuin diet is almost exactly the same as what I teach our patient base and our listener base. The only difference is they've discovered a gene called Sirt1, SIRT-1. I think you can see why the diet is now Sirtuin. If I was to name it, I'd probably call it something different just because, hey, have you start the Sirtuin diet? It's a little tough, but Sirtuins are a group of proteins that are found specifically in certain plant-based foods, so yay for plants, that are activating this gene. And according to research, and this is a quote, Sirtuins influence aging, genetic transcription, the reading of your genes and making proteins, apoptosis, the death of cells, so we do want certain cells to die. Cancer's a good cell to die. It enhances your ability to resist stress. It affects your energy efficiency positively. And it helps you to deal with sugar issues and sugar cravings. So, hey, no wonder it works. But it's a protein that's only found in certain foods. So I'm going to give you the food list. So I'm going to talk to you about how to activate a Sirtuin diet. And if you follow this, you could get the same results as Adele, Rebel Wilson, and whatever sort of celebrities who have adopted this and have cut their figures for their celebrity appearances drastically, super fast, by adopting a very healthy diet. There was a People magazine article where they interviewed Rebel Wilson, and they said, well, how'd you do this? And I thought it was fascinating because she didn't say, I ate these foods and I did this exercise. She said, I finally just realized what I was doing to my body was making it unhealthy. And I decided I didn't want to do that anymore. And she came upon this diet probably through some celebrity fitness coach or celebrity nutritionist. We'll talk about that. Where did this diet come from? Who came up with it? I've got all of it for you. Again, I think I became a Sirtuin expert. But she came upon herself and said, hey, I don't want to cause damage to my body anymore. I acknowledge the way I've been eating has been dangerous and poisonous, and I'm done with that. Notice the mindset shift. And I want to eat a new way. And so she adopted a new diet. And Adele did the same thing. And I think Adele is what has made this diet a little more famous because, people are like, oh, my God, how'd you do this? So Sirt foods are the foods that activate Sirt genes, S-I-R-T, and the diet is called the Sirtuin diet, S-I-R-T-U-I-N. And what it does is it activates a genetic pathway that we all have, but most of us have never turned on. Now, here's where the science gets really fun. You know, as a clinician, as a physician, as a holistic health coach, a functional medicine doctor, a structural chiropractor, I like to look at the research. Did you know that there are these zones in the world called the blue zones, and it's where they have the highest living Sirtuins? We've done a show about this. We talked about this in our anti-aging seminars and webinars. These blue zones are 5 areas in the world where the lifespan is an average for Sirtuins over the age of 110. And they started researching their diet and said, well, how close is it to the Sirt diet? And it's spot on 100%. So you could call this the Blue Zone diet or the Sardinia Okinawan. Ooh, that's a tough one to pronounce. The Greek island diet. What we do know about this is there's very specific foods you have to add, very specific foods you have to remove. It activates metabolic pathways for healing. It has a side effect of weight loss. And seeing that it is the Saturday after Christmas and the new year starts in less than a week, I thought, why not tell you about a new diet that may actually help you to take 2021 and make it your year. We're talking today about the Sirt Food Diet, the Sirtuin diet, the Sirts, the genes that help you to lose weight and anti-age and live a long, healthy life. And I say today's the day we hit the ground running. So as it is the official last Saturday of this year, we are going to offer something fun like I've been doing all December. Free 100% direct consultation with myself and our physicians through the Ask Dr. Ernst group. It's a phone call. Let's find out what we can do to point you in a direction towards healing. We'll talk about tests. We'll might even give you some advice, and there's no cost for it at all. 704-906-2094 is the number. 704-906-2094. It's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show, the Sirt Food Diet on its way. See you in a moment. All right, happy Saturday. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. I'm your host, Dr. Aaron Ernst, and yes, it's the Saturday after Christmas. It's the last Saturday of 2020. Woo! But we got a new year coming upon us, and I thought I'd share something new with you. The Sirt Food Diet. Sirtuins and the ability to activate the Sirt gene. Now, you might already be going, man, I'm tuning out. I don't have a clue what you're talking about. Well, guess what? I didn't really know about this either until about 4 or 5 weeks ago when I read some articles about Adelaide, the famous singer, losing nearly 100 pounds following a Sirt Food Diet. Then a couple weeks ago, I saw Rebel Wilson, who's also a famous celebrity actress, post her results, 7 stone lighter, which is 98 pounds. The camera's moving all over the place. Sorry, guys. And I thought, you know what? Let me look into this and let me see what's real about this. Now, here's what I discovered. This is a very, very unique diet, but it's not something new technically. It's been around since the beginning of time. It is really how human beings are supposed to eat. So we could call it the supposed to Sirt Food Diet. You're just supposed to eat this way. So what is this diet and how does it work? Well, first, I want to let you know it was not developed by a physician. Oh, it wasn't developed by a nutritionist. What? Well, how can somebody come up with a diet? Because it's not a diet. It's just a way of living and a way of eating. London-based author Aidan Goggins, if I'm pronouncing his last name right, Glenn Matton, came up with what they call the Sirt Food Diet. They wrote a book about Sirtuins. Sirtuins. Again, if I'm pronouncing it right. Sirtuins. I imagine some of our analytic listeners are going to tell me it's actually pronounced Sirtuins. Well, great. Let me know about it in the comments below, and we'll go from there. Okay, what do we know about it? A sirtuin is a protein found in specific plants that activates specific genes that help to make your body burn fat, produce energy, anti-age, and, well, that's a long list of other things, but those are the tops. Okay, there are Sirt 2 through 7 genes. So Sirt 1 through 7 genes. So there's 7 total. Sirt 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what they've discovered is specifically Sirt 2 and Sirt 6 are the most active in what we want, which is more energy, weight loss, and health and well-being. This diet is almost exactly the same as the original Sardinian Greek Isle Blue Zone diet, if you know anything about what I'm talking about, the longevity anti-aging diets that we find in the Mediterranean side, thus the Mediterranean diet. But it's different in that it emphasizes certain key food groups that are high in sirts or sirtuins. When you eat a Sirt Food Diet, S-I-R-T, here's what has been discovered through research, and this research is relatively new because, of course, this diet concept is relatively new. Hunger cravings gone, squashed. Fat storage turns off, which means your body is forced to burn fat. Hey, that's a good side effect. Inflammation is reduced, so you can see improvements in arthritis and joint pains and muscle aches. Muscle is actually built, so you can put on good, healthy, lean muscle. The mitochondria, which are small cells inside of all of your cells that are your batteries, they get turned on, so you get more energy. Your insulin responds better, so your blood sugars don't go up and down as much. And if you have type 2 diabetes, you can actually have a better insulin response because it can enhance the resistance and make it less powerful. It protects against the decline of metabolic syndrome and cholesterol issues. Now, this is huge because metabolic syndrome relates to things like fatty liver disease, elevated cholesterols, triglycerides, heart disease, diabetes, etc. And what's unique is it acts, the Sirtuin diet, very much like the keto diet. The only difference is the keto diet is all about loading up on fats, and they don't always designate, well, what kind of fat does it need to be? Now, I teach different than keto. We call it metabolic diets, and we say plant fats. So guess what a sirtuin is? Well, this comes from a plant fat. Certain plants have a lot of these sirtuins in them. Keto pushes someone into ketosis. Well, technically, sirtuins push you into sirtosis, a similar style of metabolic ketosis, but from plant-sourced proteins and fats instead of animal-sourced like keto dieting. Okay, so the benefits include a couple things. It emphasizes specific vegetables that are extremely beneficial in the fact that, guess what? They're cleansers, they're detoxifiers, they help to get the colon moving. And here's your Sirt food list. Okay, those of you who like to take notes. Ready? Da-da-da-da-da. Vegetables high in pre-Sirtuins. So that you eat these foods and you build more Sirtuins in your body. Dark green leafy vegetables. Broccoli, artichokes, red onions, and celery are the top 5 or 6 of the most highest Sirtuin vegetable. Going deeper into herbs, parsley, oregano, peppermint, basil, thyme, and rosemary. And again, I'll post a list for you guys. Maybe I can have my team make an infographic. But there are certain areas of foods you can consume that have Sirtuins. Spices, ready? Turmeric, chili. Yes, chili spice, curry, ginger, cinnamon, clove, cumin, and capers. Into the fruits. Now, this is where there's some debate, and I've read some, misinformation, I think, between should you or should you not eat certain fruits doing a Sirtuin diet. Well, they mostly say it's almost all berries, and I would agree to that because even in a metabolic ketonic diet, blueberries, strawberries, blackberries are fine. They're low in sugar, and they have not a lot of long-standing carbohydrates. Pomegranates, and I agree, there's a huge benefit to pomegranates because they're actually seeds. And see, mostly how people eat a pomegranate is they either juice and they drink the pomegranate juice. I don't like that. Just, I like the seeds directly, crunch on them. The fibers of the seeds, the fruit, and the I'll call it the liquid is very beneficial. It tastes good. Lemons, love lemons. Limes, love limes. And dates. And dates are unique because they have a lot of fiber. So even though they're sweet, the fiber helps to negate the insulin pushes. So we have this whole list of, spices and vegetables and herbs. Now, let's go deeper, and this is how they correlate this to the Mediterranean diet. There's a lot of Sirtuins in chocolate, so I need to talk to you about this. Olive oil and olives, which is also phenomenal. Flax and walnuts specifically, so not almonds, not pecans, but walnuts, flax seeds, olives, olive oil, and chocolate. And then as far as liquids, drinks that might help you to increase your Sirtuins, matcha green tea, certain styles of coffee, which we'll talk about. Chocolate, so, again, chocolate is something you can eat directly or you could melt it down, mix it with some coconut milk, and have a hot chocolate, not, a Swiss Miss that's toxic, but you make this. And then now what the Sirtuin diet has become famous for, red wine. Now, you might go Google the Sirtuin diet, and you're going to see it says, it's the chocolate red wine diet. Well, yeah, those are the two of those, the whole list that I think you're probably like, woohoo, I'll have as much red wine and chocolate as I want. But, curry powder, pomegranates, and red onions, artichokes, ugh. But see, it's they're all there. And there's a lot of benefit behind dark chocolate. If you have never heard any of my shows on chocolate and the healing powers of chocolate, go to iTunes, go to the Ask Dr. Ernst show. In the podcasts, go to Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, you name it, Parler, and type in Ask Dr. Ernst, and then chocolate. Go to my website, AskDrErnst.com. Chocolate. You're going to find chocolate has a tremendous healing ability, but not when it's made with milk, so it has to be dark. Okay, so we have this idea that we can turn on these genes and you can get healthy and you can get well. I'm not going to bore you with the details of the Sirt 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 genes, but I am going to share with you that each gene does something different. Some of them help to promote fat storage. Some of them help to promote mitochondrial energy production. Some of them help to promote muscle building. Some of them help to regulate your sugar responses. So the whole point of this Sirtuin diet is we want to activate our Sirt genes. And again, if you've never heard of this, don't feel a little off balance because I only found out about this about a month ago. And so I've been doing research and finding out, hey, I actually would endorse the Sirt Food Diet because it's extremely close to the Ask Dr. Ernst metabolic diet that we teach our patients and our listeners, and so I'm all for it. Here's an exhaustive list of some foods that you can incorporate today, and then I'm going to teach you how to turn on a Sirt Food Diet. And then hopefully you can, follow up with us next week. Use the comments on this video that you're watching, whatever channel you're watching on. There's usually a comment section sometime below. And what I want you to put into the chat is your response. How'd you do? Okay, foods to add. All dark green leafy vegetables. They're high in the sirtuin activator. So kale, arugula, anything that's green. If you find a plant and it's green and it's leafy, spinach and chard, dandelion, wheatgrass, okay, they're all going to activate the sirtuin genes. Okay, next. Olives and olive oils. We talked about this, okay? The reason the Mediterranean diet is so strong is it's really high in those oils from olives, and they're phenomenal for you. Walnuts, again, specifically I said, look, it's not pecans, it's not almonds, it's walnuts, all right? You can use spices in your foods like turmeric and ginger and parsley. Parsley is a green leafy vegetable. So is oregano, and so is, cilantro, coriander, etc. Red onions, capers, chili, red chilies, chicory, which is a phenomenal beverage, by the way. You can roast chicory roots, and it ends up looking like coffee. Not exactly the same taste, but looks exactly like coffee. And coffee, of course, is a really good sirtuin food. So berries, keep them to the berry category, right? So like an apple is not a berry no matter how you look at it, okay? Strawberry, blueberry, blackberry, gooseberry, Indian gooseberries, cranberries, and loganberries and mulberries. I don't know. I'm sure there's a loganberry somewhere. One way to really activate the sirtuin diet is to come up with a specific protocol. So what I'm going to share with you in this next segment is how to activate a sirtuin protocol over the next 4 weeks so January becomes your massive weight loss month. Just like Adele and Rebel Wilson, and I imagine other celebrities that have lost a tremendous amount of weight, you can do this. And if you're looking to change more than just your weight, if you want to kick a medication to the curb, fatty liver goodbye, diabetes gone, blood pressure, arthritis, fibromyalgia, it doesn't matter. If you have a health issue that you take a prescription for, why don't you let me see if I can point you in a direction to self-healing? I'm offering a free 15-minute phone call directly with me. There's no cost, there's no obligation, and all we'll talk about is, what have you done? Have you looked into this? Maybe I can find something that could help you to heal, and if you do it, you should get great results. It's all free, 704-906-2094. Simple phone call, and it can change your life. 704-906-2094. It's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. We'll be right back. Well, happy Saturday. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening in. Thanks for coming back. This is the Ask Dr. Ernst Show, and I'm your host, Dr. Aaron Ernst. And yes, it's the final Saturday of the year. Yes, it's just after Christmas. Yes, there's all kinds of fun things you can do in this new year. Most of you are probably going to want to lose some weights, or, I want to get my health back. I want my energy back. I want to kick a medication to the curb. So our topic of the day today is the new, which is not really new, but you'll understand when I say this in a moment, the new diet called the Sirt Food Diet, or the Sirtuin diet, or the diet that within the last couple of weeks has famously helped Adele and Rebel Wilson to lose weight. So we have this photo, and here's Adele standing in, I guess maybe her backyard or whatever, showing the difference in how she lost, I think it was more than 100 pounds, if I remember right. And then more recently, Rebel Wilson, so the celebrity superstar from, I think, London, who cut a tremendous amount. And she was interviewed by People magazine, where they said, how did you lose 7 stone, 98 pounds? And she went, I changed my diet, but I also changed my mindset behind what I was doing to myself. I woke up to the reality that what I was eating was not good for my health, and so I just decided to stop doing that. Now, here's the thing. It doesn't really matter what diet you do if you change your mindset like that. You could go keto and you could lose 100 pounds. You could go Sirt food and lose 100 pounds. You could become a vegetarian and lose 100 pounds. You could, be a carnivorous and eat and lose 100 pounds, because it's always about mindset first. I have patients and clients and listeners who always come up to me and they're like, Dr. Ernst, what should I do? What diet should I follow? It's the new year. What exercise routine should I adopt, and what diet should I eat? Don't worry about that. Why do you want to lose weight? What? Why are you asking me this question? I just want to know which one works. Well, they all work. You just have to work it. Oh, I know I'm going deep on you now. I'm sorry to have to burst your bubble. It doesn't matter what diet you pick. Wait, what? Can I do the McDonald's diet? Well, technically, if you believe in the placebo, no placebo, you could, and you can still lose weight. So remember, food doesn't heal you. It helps you to heal when you're doing certain things right. Food can make you more toxic. So I didn't say that you would be healthier if you do the McDonald's diet. You could lose weight on McDonald's diet, but you would be very sick. So let's pick a diet that's going to do tremendous amounts of healthy changes. Let's pick a diet that's going to give you energy, make you lose weight, make you anti-age, make your joints hurt less. Oh, yeah, Dr. Ernst, that's the one I want. So what diet is it? Well, it's not a diet. It's eat real food. Oh, Dr. Ernst, no. I want to know, what's the foods I should eat and what diet should I follow? All right, it's called the Sirt Food Diet. This is what I teach. It's just some author came around and called it the Sirt Food Diet because there's genes in your body, Sirt 1 through 7, that when they're turned on, you get tremendous results. You burn fat, you build muscle, you stop storing fat, your energy gets through the roof, you antioxidize, you anti-inflame, and you de-age. Oh my God, we have an anti-aging diet. Yes! This has been something that's been done for hundreds of years. The blue zones in the world, the Sardinians, the Okinawans, the Greek Isles. The Mediterranean diet became famous because over there in that, era of Greece, Italy, Spain, etc. The location of Greece, Italy, and Spain, there were a tremendous amount of people that are 100, 105, 110. And when they take a look at their diet, they're like, wow, you eat a lot of olives and olive oil. Well, we're in Italy. You drink a lot of red wine. We're in Italy. You eat a lot of chocolate. We're Italians. And you don't eat a lot of meat. No, we eat vegetables. So we'll call this the Mediterranean diet. Well, it's not really a diet. For these people, it was just a way of life. So this Sirt Food Diet, why don't you adopt it as a way of life? But caution, change your thinking first. We don't just want to lose weight to lose 20 pounds. We want you to do it for another reason. That's why so many of you say this, Dr. Ernst, I don't understand. I lost 10 pounds, but then it came right back. I don't know, somehow I thought I had left it and it found me. No, your mindset didn't change. What do you mean? Well, you were pretty good at sticking with a new diet for 2 or 3 weeks. That's why you lost weight. But then when the rubber hit the road and it has to be for the rest of your life, your brain went, I can't do this. And you went back to your old pattern, and that's why you gained your weight back. Well, no, I feel like I eat really well. Okay, well, let's talk about what a really good diet is. Leafy green vegetables, only berries for your fruits, no other fruits, olive and olive oils, walnuts, capers, onions, dark chocolate, cacao nibs, walnuts, small amounts of red wine, lots of green leafy spices, parsley, oregano, coriander, etc., and maybe a small date here or there. And we keep our fish high, wild caught, our meats low, grass-fed only, and you incorporated tremendous amounts of vegetable juices. So let's talk real quick about how to do the Sirt Food Diet. Well, number one, it's lots of greens. And some people have a hard time eating greens, so that's why we recommend juicing them. But be careful. You need a special type of juicer to push spinach through. You can't use the Jacqueline. It doesn't work, okay? You need an auger-style juicer, and they're not that expensive, $100-$150, and you can go on Amazon and get one if you want, and you make green vegetable juices. Kale, spinach, parsley, celery, ginger, lemon, lime, and add a small dash of matcha green tea extract, a powder that you can stir into it. What a phenomenal beverage to have, just so you know. Extremely alkalinizing, burns fat. You mix all these together. You squeeze in the lemon juice or just juice the lemon straight in, and instead of drinking water, you drink that. Heaven forbid you were to not have a Coca-Cola or a Diet Coke or a Pepsi and you drank vegetable juices instead. Why does this work so well? Well, first, you don't have to digest all the fibers and the harsher, thicker components of these greens, right? The stalks and the fibers. Second, there's very little sugar in it, and so it's already been pre-digested, and all the enzymes and the nutrients and the vitamins, they probably will be absorbed before they even get into your stomach. I guarantee you've never had this many enzymes and nutrients hit your system within just one swallow. So the reason juicing is so good and why it's part of the Sirt Food Diet is it gives you a ton of energy. But look at this. I'm so excited. Our final segment of the day and our final show of the year is going to show you how to do this diet step by step. There's 3 phases to it. I'll tease you. The first 3 days, you have to do something. The second 3 days, you have to do something. The last 3 weeks, you have to do something. So let's go through that line by line. And don't forget, this is your chance right now to have a free call with me so we can digest your health. What's going on? What have you tried? What are you doing? And what tests do you need to get so you can heal yourself? 704-906-2094. Call it, text it. And again, that's the way to connect with us. 704-906-2094. Don't go away. The best is yet to come. We'll be right back. Well, good afternoon. Happy official last Saturday of 2020. You've made it. It's, look, you hear that in the background? Woo! You've made it. And, we're here today talking about something I think is fascinating. And I really hope you implement what I'm teaching you guys today. Now, some of you have been listening since the top of the hour. You're like, just get to it already. What am I supposed to do? I want to do this Sirt Food Diet. Some of you, though, might be tuning in and going, a Sirt what diet? So, guys, if you've been tuning around, just give me 5 seconds, okay? The Sirt Food Diet has become somewhat famous in the last 4 or 5 weeks because several celebrities have been posting pictures on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and YouTube of themselves losing 70, 80, 90, almost 100 pounds. So we got to talk about this. What are they doing? Well, they're doing this thing called the Sirt Food Diet. It's an activation of genes that you have called Sirts, 1 through 7, and each gene does something specific. Some burns fat, some builds protein, some anti-ages you. Ooh, I like that one. Your anti-aging gene. You could call this the ultimate anti-aging diet. The Blue Zone diet, if you've been listening since the top of the hour. Our Okinawan Sardinian longevity diet. These areas within the world where there's more centurions by volume than any other place. How do we do this, okay? I had a couple people message me over the last commercial break. Can you eat meat on the Sirt Food Diet? So I'm going to just answer a couple questions real quick. Yes, but remember, you want to restrict it to only certain... Hold on, my camera just flipped out. Are we there? Yeah. You want to keep it restricted to only certain meats, and they have to be very classically sourced a specific way. Here's what I mean by that. The fish must be small, wild caught. What do I mean by that? Sardines and anchovies are pretty much the only fish, according to what I could find. Maybe some salmon, and that's it. Sardines, anchovies, and salmon. Okay, the meats, they need to be wild or what I would call sort of like originally raised on what those meats are supposed to eat. So like venison, if it's wild, great. You can have some of that. Buffalo, if it's fed grass, go for it. Cows, you got to be careful. So like beef, you really need to confirm it's not only grass-fed but grass-finished. So it's not a very heavy meat diet, but you can eat some meats. So we answered that. Okay, second, somebody said, do I have to use kale and arugula? I don't like the way they taste. Could I use something like spinach or chard? Yes. However, kale seems to be the king in the respects of the Sirt Food diets. It has the highest amount of sirtuins of all the green vegetables. If you don't like kale, then let's try a couple things. Juice it and drink the kale juice. Here's a secret that my wife has discovered. Take the kale leaf and slice the stem out of it and put it into a bowl and put a little bit of olive oil in there and physically massage it. Add a little bit of lemon juice and let it sit for maybe 30 minutes or so, and you'll come back and it's nice and sort of soft. It's not that hard kind of crunch that some people don't like with the kale. So the question was kale and arugula. Now, I don't know about you, but I love arugula. It's like spicy, sort of peppery, has that kind of kick to it. So see, I like that, but maybe you go, I don't like the way it tastes. Okay, well, spinach is fine, chard, collard greens, dandelion. There's so many, okay? Another question came through, and I love your questions, guys, but you don't have to just direct message them to me. Use the chat below for questions, but let's just take a moment, right? What foods should you avoid when doing this diet? I love it. What a great question, okay? Ready? You want to get rid of all the foods we talk about. No wheat, no flour, no corn, no sugar, nothing boxed, nothing preserved, okay? So for me, dairy out, corn out, wheat out, rice out, soy out, sugar out, fruit out, except for berries. And those were the 3 big questions that came through. So those of you who are watching, hey, if you have a question, at the end of the segments, just type it in and I'll answer it at the bottom. How do we do this now? See, this is what I was saving for the end, the best part. How do we make this Sirtuin diet physically work? So normally you'd have to meet with a nutritionist and you have to pay their fee. Normally you would probably have to work with some sort of physician to get this kind of a plan. So guess what? My gift to you, Merry Post-Christmas. I'm going to show you exactly how to do this line by line. 3 phases. Technically 4, but we got to talk about that. 3 active phases and 1 for long-term maintenance. Okay, here we go. Phase 1. First days, 1, 2, and 3. You're going to think it's nuts, but here we go. Drink 3 at the minimum of a Sirt Food green juice. And what is a Sirt Food green juice? Well, I gave it to you on the previous segment. Kale, parsley, celery, ginger, lemon, and about a half a teaspoon of matcha tea. I will post this online if you guys need this, but it's kale, parsley, ginger, celery, lemon juice, and matcha green tea. How much? As much as you want. How many stalks of celery? As many as you can do. Okay? It's just juice it, drink it. And so you need 3 of those per day in your first 3 days. Second, you want to eat 1 meal, okay, probably the midday meal. So you skip breakfast, you drink this Sirt Food green drink. With your lunch, you have another one, and you eat a physical lunch, okay? So you're having this Sirt Food rich food meal, okay? What can you have? You can have some dark chocolate. You can have olives, olive oil, walnuts, flax seeds, any herbs, dark green vegetables, broccoli, artichokes, onion, celery, some berries. You can also have any sort of spices, and you can have some fish, small. You can have some meats, venison, buffalo, or grass-fed animals. Okay, so there's no bread, there's no potatoes, there's no pasta. It's basically proteins and greens and nuts and seeds. And then dinner is a green drink. Okay, so we have 3 days of that. You're going to keep your caloric intake, if you guys count calories, about at 1,000 calories per day. Okay, 3 days. Boom. Easy. Okay, day 4 through 7. All right, now we're going to say, well, you can keep doing those drinks, okay? So I want you to still do those juices, but you only really need 2 per day at the minimum. And because you're going to eat now 2 meals, 2 Sirt Food meals. So if you can see it, we go heavier on the juices, 1 meal per day. Now we're going less on the juices, 2 meals per day. And I want them to be the Sirt Food meals. And again, we listed all the foods for you, so go after it. And you can bump your calories up to about 1,500 if you're a calorie counter. Okay, so that's day 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, so boom. Now, next 2 to 3 weeks. This isn't something that I would say is difficult to do. All you do is you keep doing what I just said to you. Okay, so you do a 3-day rotation, and then you do a 4-day rotation. So there's a week, right? So 3 days of the week, I do my phase 1, and then 4 days of the week, I do my phase 2. And how long do I do that for? 2 to 3 weeks. It's not that complicated. And track your progress by looking at your weight, looking at your energy, maybe checking your blood sugars, maybe look at your ketones if you are a keto adopter. And what will happen is this. You'll get a huge shift within your body weight, within your energy, with everything else. Now, what do we do after we finish this 2 or 3 weeks of going phase 1, phase 2, phase 1, phase 2? Well, it involves what are your goals, okay? I wouldn't say the Sirt Food Diet is something that you would stay on for the rest of your life. You can obviously hear it's a little restrictive, 1,000 calories max for 3 days, 1,500 calories max for 4 days, 3 juices and only 1 food meal eating, usually lunch, for 3 days, and then 2 juices with 2 meals, no breakfast, just lunch and dinner. It's a bit intense, but it's doable for at least about a month. Then you can start to fade back into what we call the cellular healing diet, or the Mediterranean diet, or the ketogenic diet. And if you want to really rock it out, what I like to do now that I've read about this and I've learned about this Sirt Food Diet is create rotation. Maybe you do Sirt Food for a week. Maybe you do Mediterranean for a week. Maybe you do paleo for a week. Maybe you go completely vegan for a week. Maybe you do a mixture, become a flexitarian. Like, you really have control, but I want to share with you one major secret behind dieting. Don't do the same thing all the time. Your body does not like that. If you really want to create rhythm and you really want to get healthy and you really want to heal your diet, it's about changing your mindset. A diet is not a way of eating. A diet is usually restrictive. Do eat this and don't eat this. So is this Sirt Food a diet? Yes. We're saying only drink matcha tea and vegetable juices. You can have some coffee and a little bit of red wine here or there. We're saying, spice up your foods with, turmeric and ginger and curcumin and cinnamon, and only eat berries and, dark green leafy vegetables, broccoli, artichokes, celery, red onions. Only. What about white onions, Dr. Ernst? Nope, says red. What about cucumbers? Well, it's dark green, but it's not a leafy vegetable. Ugh. Okay, herbs, parsley, oregano, peppermint, rosemary, thyme, basil. You can't go wrong with the herbs because what are they? They're green leaves. What about walnuts? Check. Almonds? Nope. What about pecans? Nope. Well, they're really good. I like them. I understand that. But see, it's a diet. Cut them out for a period of time, and then walnuts only. Flax seeds, olives, olive oils, chocolate. Okay, so that is the primary Sirt food list. And it's what gives you this sirtuin activation, which is a genetic change that makes you burn fat, makes you store energy, helps you to anti-age and become a healer. So look how fun this is, right? This is not that complicated. But yet, some of you are going to say this, I don't like red onions, Dr. Ernst. Well, fine, don't eat them. Go to something else. Well, I want to do white onions. Well, then you're not following the diet. Remember, it's either you do it or you don't. Okay, so that's why I say at the top of our show, it's a mindset shift that needs to take place. You could do any diet you want, but if you have the mindset of, I'm only going to put into my body what brings health and wellness, and I'm not going to put into it what creates sickness and disease, whatever diet you want to do is going to be phenomenal. I'd like to say, see if your food can pass this test. All of your beverages, if you were to pour them into a fish tank that had fish in them, could the fish survive? Or would they die immediately? Okay, if you pour Coca-Cola, you pour, beer, or you pour wine. Now, I know what you're going to say, but Dr. Ernst, there's red wine on this diet. Well, just understand the logic, okay? If you were to take the foods you eat and feed them to a dog and it dies, then you shouldn't eat it. Okay, I don't know about you, but animals don't go around going, when can I have a Pepsi? Okay, they don't do it. But you do because of advertising, programming, and the fact that your willpower needs to change. So that's what I got for you guys. It's the end of the year. Next week, we start a new year, and I'm going to come at you hot. I'm going to come at you heavy with all kinds of stuff so you can heal yourself in the new year. And this is your last chance offer for our free consultation call. Direct with me, 15 minutes, and I'll help you to find an answer to your health. I'll even give you some tips and advice at no cost for no obligation. You just need to let me know if you want the call. 704-906-2094. 704-906-2094. If you call it, our call center is going to pick up and say, what's your name, phone number, and email. If you want to bypass the human being and become virtual and high-techy, text it, 704-906-2094. I just need your name and your email, and that's it. And then we'll connect with you. Guys, it's been an incredible year. Thank you for all of the things we've learned, and I look forward to an even better year next year. I'll see you on the turn of the new year. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.